Stand on any street corner in London today and you'll hear a dozen languages in as many minutes. Nearly 40% of Londoners were born outside the UK. But rewind 2,000 years and you'd find marshland on a tidal river strategically useless to anyone except the Romans. So what happened in between? Invasion, fire, plague, revolution, and relentless reinvention. Using AI to bring historical drawings and engravings to life, let's race through almost 2 millennia of London's transformation. It begins in 43 AD. Roman legions invade Britain and need a crossing over the Thames, a place to build a bridge and secure supply lines back to the continent. They choose the lowest practical crossing point and found Londinium, a port town that grows fast. Merchants arrive from across the empire. The Romans build a bridge where London Bridge still stands. Then, in 60-61 AD, disaster, Boudicca leads a revolt and burns Londinium to the ground. Archaeology still shows a layer of ash beneath the city. Rome rebuilds, bigger, richer, and more fortified. A huge city wall goes up, fragments of which still survive. At its peak, Londinium becomes the economic heart of Roman Britain. But around 410 AD, Rome is collapsing and pulls its legions out. Without imperial protection and trade, the city implodes. Markets vanish. Coinage becomes useless. Skilled workers leave. Londinium shrinks from tens of thousands to a scattering of people living among ruins. For centuries, the old Roman city decays, then the Saxons arrive, and they don't trust the ruins. Instead of rebuilding inside the walls, they establish a new trading town to the west in the 600s-700s, Londonwick, near today's Covent Garden and the Strand. Trade returns, goods moving across Europe. But the Vikings come up the Thames repeatedly. After major sackings, Alfred the Great retakes London in 886 and makes a decisive move. He shifts the population back inside the Roman walls, restoring defences. London becomes a fortress again. By the early 1000s, London is central enough that Nut rules from it, and Edward the Confessor builds Westminster Abbey, splitting the city's future geography, London for commerce, Westminster for power. Then comes 1066. William of Normandy conquers England and secures London by building fortresses, above all, the Tower of London, a stone warning that royal authority is permanent. Medieval London grows crowded and wealthy. Guilds dominate trade. London Bridge, rebuilt in stone, late 1100s, becomes a packed street of houses and shops, and for centuries it's the only bridge across the Thames. In 1348, the Black Death hits. Within 2 years, perhaps a third to half of London is dead. The city recovers, then social pressure erupts in 1381 when rebels march on London, storm the Tower, and shake the ruling class. The revolt is crushed, but London's political weight is unmistakable. From 1500 to 1650, London explodes in size. The Reformation dissolves monasteries, reshaping land ownership and enabling expansion. Under Elizabeth I, London becomes a cultural engine, Shakespeare's theatre world, while overseas trade accelerates. Then the double catastrophe, plague in 1665 and the Great Fire in 1666. The fire destroys most of the medieval city inside the walls. London rebuilds fast, with new rules favouring brick and stone. Christopher Wren rebuilt St. Paul's Cathedral, its dome becoming a symbol that will survive even the Blitz. The 18th and 19th centuries turn London into the capital of a global empire and the world's largest city. Finance and government consolidate, bridges multiply, railways arrive. Victorian London builds big parliament, major infrastructure, and crucially the modern sewer system after the Great Stink. But inequality is brutal, slums, cholera, crime, and infamous fear like Jack the Ripper. The 20th century brings war. During the Blitz, London is bombed night after night, whole districts are destroyed, yet St. Paul's stands. Post-war London is exhausted, then rebuilt again. Immigration from the Caribbean, South Asia, Africa, and later Europe remakes the city. The 1960s bring cultural dominance, later decades bring decline, then reinvention, Docklands to Canary Wharf, and a global financial surge. Modern London is messy, expensive, constantly argued over, and unstoppable. It survived Roman collapse, Viking raids, plague, fire, and bombing. Each time it adapted, rebuilt, and pulled in new people with new ideas. That's the story of London, a city that never stops becoming.